So, appreciate your indulgence as we figure out some last minute administrative stuff. What we do, our first time at the new venue here, we're test driving it tonight, so be interested in your feedback afterwards to see if, see how y'all think of it, location, space, definitely a little bit more elbow room here, so that's good. Way we're gonna do things tonight, we're gonna run through the, the agenda fairly close to normal, the old business, new bit, and then we'll get to the new business and the elections. We've got enough folks here to do the officer elections and the, budget, but not the bylaws. You need a majority for that, so we'll have to table that for next month. Hopefully we'll have a majority for that particular round there, so. Do we have any members or visitors joining us for the first time tonight? Raise your hand, please. Welcome aboard. Can I get your name, call sign?
Howard, KF8 CSK.
KF8 CSK, welcome.
Jake, November 8th, Whiskey Julie.
You check into the net all the time, don't you, Jake? Do we know your voice? Know the call sign? All right, I think I saw another hand too. Oh, they're in the back.
KF8
CSM, Kevin, welcome. Well, welcome, everybody. Glad to have you with us. You picked a good meeting to come to. We're doing all sorts of exciting business tonight. Well, as we'll introduce the rest of ourselves to you, I am Cliff, AK9TX.
Sean, AE8SP.
John, K8YYZ.
Jeff, KB8CRM.
Dan KPLW.
Chuck, WV88.
Tom, KE8YVH.
Mike, K8EGY.
Bill, 88W8.
Scott, K8UXG.
Roy, W8ROY.
Oh, NAWL.
We're just gonna reinforce it.
Antoine, K3K8.
Don W8LFF.
John, KC8CRK.
Sandy AK8KA.
Chris, WI8X.
Keith.
Dave, AE8DE. John, W8. Norm, KE8VIJ. I'm James Keller, W8WW.
Keith, KE8AUO.
Chris, N8EVL. Will, KF8CVL. Cliff. MFD. N8PT. Morton, KD8COJ.
Tom, K8CC.
Howard, KF8CSK.
Mike, KE8YMN.
Mike, N8MI. Joe, KD8DOU. Brian, K8MOE. Bob, KD8TL. Jeff, KF8ACS. Paul, W8ICI. Ron, K8DTJ. Billy, KE8LXX. David, KC8QR.
Bill, 88HSK. Kevin, KF8CSM.
Doris K8DXJ. Marsha W8ZJU.
Steve, KF8HW.
Brian, KF8DEJ.
Chris, W8CFF.
SKTAS.
All right. Oh, Zach, K8ZRY. Best for last, right?
That's all right. All right, well, welcome everybody, and thanks again for coming out tonight. Couple of things I want to do here. One of the first things I want to get to. One of the first things I want to get to is thanking everybody who came out to the swap and everybody who helped with the swap. I think it was a terrific swap. This is only the second one I've been involved with, so I got to see the old venue and get to see this venue. I mean, the feedback that I got was all positive. I mean, a couple of things were things that we couldn't control, like some signage and things like that, but a few lessons learned, like any other time you do something new.
I got a question.
Please.
How did y'all find such a big place when it used to be they have small places, man?
Bill and Sandy,
Yep.
they did the legwork and found that venue for us.
It was also, it's been used for the train show in the past too. And a
Right.
few of the members have gone to the train show and recommended it, so.
Oh, okay.
Chris, please.
What was the head count? I'm guessing around 650, 650 people showed up.
It's like 3 something.
It was jammed in there.
392
Well, plus whoever you had, so it's
plus the
plus
vendors.
so 450.
Huh?
Around 450.
Yeah, around 450.
I don't mean just, not including the vendors, just the people coming in, you know, or is that just giving a total ticket count?
392.
392.
Wow, that's a good number.
Yeah, it was great, and with that, with the, additional space in there, some of the feedback, the little bit of constructive criticism that we did get with some of the space between the tables, but, for the vendors. But personally, I think that, as people were getting and putting their stuff in, they were probably moving the tables together a little bit, so, that could have been part of it too. But I mean, I think overall it was great. I hope you all felt the same way. Again, thanks to, Bill, Sandy, Mike, Zach, everybody that came and volunteered. It's because of you that this was a success, and we do appreciate it. So thank you for that. Speaking of events, our next event is the Michigan QSO Party, which will take place April at some point, and it's at the Livonia EOC just down the road. Remember, you do have to be a full member or a member of the club to attend that, and when it gets closer to time, we'll take sign up and all that good stuff for it. And that's a great time in itself too. We always seem to do very well with that, so let's do well with it again this year. And last but not least, with announcements, we've got our breakfast every Saturday morning at Seneconey Island, Plymouth and Stark, and it's a great group of people. I wish I could get there more often. Twitter's still making me a smart aleck.
You could. It's breakfast, you understand that, not lunch.
If it was lunch, I'd be there. Sorry, for
We can always call you, roust you.
There we go. You might have to have a suitcase bomb to wake me up on Saturday morning. All right, so moving on to our old business, we have, of course, as we always say, the Secretary's report from Mike K. and AGY is available upon request. Bill, we can do your treasurer's report if you'd like.
Just so you know, this final report for this one is not available yet. There are still outstanding bills. We started the month in January at $10,532. We took in $5,800. Most of that was swap, 5,000, with the additional 7,800 in membership. Expenses, badges, $53, $56 in PayPal, grand prize of $100, and web hosting for the next few months of $120. So $1,640 in expenses. So our ending balance was $14,725. As I said, there are still a few outstanding bills for the swaps, so that's when we drop down over $1,000. Any questions?
Thank you, sir. Hero, you're on.
I enabled sharing for you, Hero.
All right, Hero, for your net report, go right ahead.
Good evening, this is Hero. Nice seeing you guys. It's a net report for the 2 million that we have on the Thursday night, 8 p.m. every week. We have a Sandy, Chuck, myself, and what's your name? Well, the former guy is net control that taking every month. Keys also. And I'm pretty sure we'll come back. Anyways, I'm going to talk just a little bit about the how we are doing in terms of the check-ins. The number is always climbing, so thank you very much for that. And participation to the net is very good. Proper check-in procedures. We've been kind of trying to get this straightened up a little bit. A little more smoother check-in this way. And to give enough time to the net control to log into the net control net logger. I appreciate it. speaking of NetLogger, this is a screen of the NetLogger. I don't know if you guys can see it. Basically, when you check in, net control, type in your call sign on the leftmost column, and it'll populate those information, names and locations and such. And this way we can keep track of who checked in and also who was asking to be in and out for the net. That will be a grayed out, so we know that who is in and out. All right, and I really recommend start using the NetLogger if you are checking into a net. It's a very fun program if you want to join other nets. This one have a live view of what kind of nets are going on live, and you can always join those nets and find out those different nets. During this Thursday night 8 p.m., there are like 30 nets on the NetLogger going on. So there are plenty of nets. HF, 2 meter, just some of them are just echo link only, those things. So you gotta try out. Well, Keith, he's online up there. He's running those Wayne County repeater on our repeater crawl on our repeater. So you might want to check out. Everybody who joined, enjoy those activities. The schedule is on the website. It's in there's a LARC 2 meter net web page on our website. And this is a clearly older style of our website. So we got a little different header now, but contents are still the same. It shows the schedule of upcoming net and discussion topic and if there's a net control will be. In case you know, I'm taking the first week of the month rotation, just temporary until we find a replacement. So if you want to give it a shot at being the net control, please let me know. I'm good on QLZ. And like I said, NetLogger, there's a little presentation on our webpage. If you look around, you can find a presentation. And in there, there's a NetLogger getting started. I put this together for a while ago, 2019 maybe. So a little bit outdated possibly, but they should get you going. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, there, Hero. And yeah, for anybody who's interested in running the net, first off, I think it's a lot of fun. And if anybody has any reservations about using NetLogger, if you use any other electronic logging program, it's going to feel very familiar to you. If I remember correctly, it might be a little quirky to set up the very first time, but after that, it's like any other logging program. So yeah, don't let that deter you if you're interested in doing it. It's a lot of fun. Next up, John, do you have anything for LARC in the Park or any presentation you want to talk about?
I just say a couple of brief words. Thank you. So when I suggested that the club have a program manager that coordinates the monthly meeting and LARC in the Park, I did that with the hope that there would be a full schedule well ahead of time. I'm finding myself in a very difficult position for March. I have not been able to secure a presentation yet. Everyone that I've reached out to, I don't know if it's just the month of March, but everybody's busy. They're just either not getting back to me or they're not able to be at that meeting. So bear with me. Keep your eyes on the website. I'll have something very shortly. I'm hoping. A plan that I had for LARC in the Park for March 8th fell through today. So yeah, March is really kind of a thorn in my side. But like I said, keep your eyes on the website. We'll have some information up there fairly soon. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, John. Thank you for everything you do with that too.
Your mic,
Oh, did it die?
Is it dead? Oh, it didn't sound like it.
yeah.
Test 1 2 1 2 1 2.
We're on now.
CQ.
We're good.
Yeah, thank you, John, for everything that you do with keeping things organized. Yeah, beware the eyes of March. I guess if anybody's got an idea for a presentation at any point, you can let John know. But obviously, if you have something that you might want to do for March, let him know as well. All right. Peter, I think you're online. Did you have anything you want to say about the membership manager?
Yes, thank you. And I've got new audio set up here, so can you guys hear me okay?
Yep,
Yeah,
you're
you sound
good.
Yes. Okay,
good.
great. Hey, mostly I just wanted to let everybody know that the membership system that we've talked about many months ago is actually in progress being developed. My apologies. I've had a lot of health problems. I'm finally pulling out of the worst of those. And we had a couple technical problems getting some of the components installed and up and running. That's now solved. And so I'm actually working now on the registration screen for people to be able to register themselves for to submit an application. But the point simply being that it is actually underway. I know you haven't heard much about it recently, and I hope to have something to show the board and then the general membership relatively soon. So it's not been forgotten. It hasn't died, and I haven't died either, but you know, it was touch and go for a moment, but I'm still here. So there we go. That's
We're
it.
glad you're still here, Peter.
Still
Yeah.
lurking about.
Me too.
You're glad to.
Mike dies instead.
I wonder if it batteries. Here, I'll go get new batteries. I'm suspect.
No problem.
Talk loud.
I can do that. Yeah, hold on here. Yeah, well, anyway, thank you, Peter, for, I'm glad that you're on the mend.
Yeah, me too. Thank you.
Any other old business that we want to cover before we switch gears?
I have something, but it might be under new business.
Lay it
There's
on
a
me.
member of our club who needs our help. Not monetarily, he's fine on that. He's got health issues and he's got a thing called callous brain. Guy is very smart. He and I got into a technical conversation a couple of weeks ago. I was grasping it. I was really learning something. And he stopped to take a puff on his cigarette, set the cigarette down, and says, now where was I? So I told him the last 4 sentences that he had said, and he goes, nope, it's gone. He says, if he can wake up and remember his wife's name, it's gonna be a good day. He's got other health issues which precludes him from climbing ladders and stuff. The entire time that Jay and I were there, he was in a scooter. And he lives in Farmington. He is a member of the club. Fred Deschennes, I don't know if you're here today, Fred. Fred helped him out a great deal, running coaxes and stuff. He's got a garage behind his garage. One garage has cars, the other garage is his entire shed. Wow. And he just got done remodeling that garage. And we should all be so lucky to have a shack that big. Air conditioned in the winter and heated in the air conditioned in the summer, heated in the winter, and it's a nice place, but he needs wires strung for antennas, maybe some beam antennas put on the other garage or on the current garage. I don't know. He said we could even come over to his place and operate whatever, contest or something like that. He's got plenty of radio. His 2 latest acquisitions, I used to have one of them. Collins 75A4, he's got a 75A3 with all the filters in it. That's a hell of a find. Bought it off the eBay. I know what he paid for it. He didn't tell me. He just recently got an HQ 170, a Hammerwood, and that one looks like brand new. I'm sure he paid a pretty penny for that. He's become quite a collector of the radios and stuff. But he needs help. I can't climb towers anymore. I can get on a 3-step step stool and I'm bound to fall. So I need help. We need help getting him situated. Anybody wish to volunteer? John, this is what I wanted to talk to you about Saturday, but you were busy and I was slammed. But that's a swap. But he's open to suggestions for antennas and stuff. His only contact with the club is Fred Deschennes. And I haven't seen Fred at the last few meetings, so I'm wondering if Fred is feeling okay, but,
So why don't we do this, Chris? Because I mean, that's a perfect helping hands topic, that we have, that we usually do with the other half
and
of the
he is a
net.
member, his call is KEASDF, I think, SFD.
Okay,
Um,
well, so what I would say is
his name
anybody,
is
you know,
Guido Capaldi.
we got a lot of folks here tonight, so if anybody's interested in helping out there to get in contact with you, Chris, and
Sure.
you can, okay. So that's what we'll do there, and, yeah, we got people here tonight, we can congregate afterwards and see what we can do.
My email address and QRZ is good.
Okay, yeah, Chris, good on QRZ, folks. All right, moving into our new business, and we got audio again. New members and license upgrades, Mr. Bill.
Not sure whether we have any, license upgrade. Anybody here license upgrade recently? I have 5 new members. Dave Kovic, who's a AA. He's an extra class. John Dudek, I know he's here. KCH CRK technician. Mark. House, it's. How do you say it? Mike?
Alaskowitz.
Alaskowitz. WA8 UNL is advanced. Brian Grove, KF8 DEJ is test, and Manjo Paniker, who is KF8 DFM is a tech. And oh, by the way, we had 114 members renewed as of this evening. So that's the highest we've been. Well, we got up to 125 for 2024, but it's the highest we've had at this point in the year. And I've already got 2 more on the list that want to join.
Nice. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate that. All right, I guess next up is all the fun to get ready to start there. You want to
Yeah,
say anything
I'll
else?
take
I'll
over.
let you have it.
All right, so good evening, everyone. So kind of changing things up for this year is what we've done in years past. And instead of the president, an elected member of the board running the election, we kind of figured it would probably be a good idea for somebody who's not elected to run the election. So I'm your election committee for tonight. You heard Cliff mentioned at the beginning of the meeting that we don't have enough of a quorum for the Constitution. So we presently have 55 members here for 2025 paying members, and the cutoff for passing a Constitution, because it's the Constitution of the club, so it takes a lot to be able to edit it. So according to the Constitution, in order to pass it, has to be a majority vote of the full membership. So 114 members, that's 57. So we would need 58 yays, and we have 55 here in the room and online. So unfortunately, we can't do the Constitution tonight, but we can do the board election and the 2025 budget, because that just requires a quorum, which is 1/3 of the membership. So we'll do those 2 things tonight. So we'll start out with, I guess we'll just start out with the board. And I'm going to run through each of the positions and ask for nominations, and then we'll vote on each one thereafter. The first one, we'll start out with the big cheese. Unfortunately, we're in orange and not yellow. But we'll start out with president. Any nominations for president? Chris?
If Cliff is willing, I nominate him for another term.
Well, thank you, Chris. I am.
All right.
Thank you.
Chris made a nomination, Sandy seconded the nomination, and Cliff accepted. Are there any other nominations for president? Okay. All right, we'll move on to, actually, you know what, let's vote on that now. So if you're a member, what we'll do 3 ways of voting: a yay, a nay, and an abstain. Yay, nay, nay, and abstain. You don't want to say yes or no. So, all right, yays for Cliff AK9TX to be president for 2025. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. Those online, yep, give a thumbs up. 46, 47, 48. All right, we'll call it at 48 yays. Any nays? Okay, and any abstains? 1. Okay, so it was 48 yays and 1 abstain. All right, we'll move on to Vice President.
Rescue 5 respond on a medical at 4741 Sherwill Drive for a 65-year-old female.
There. All right, so we'll move on to Vice President. Are there any nominations for Vice President? Keith?
Like to nominate Sean again?
Sean, do you accept? Okay, are there any seconds for that nomination? Marcia, seconds. Any other nominations for Vice President? Okay, all right, for voting for Vice President for Sean, 88 SP for the 2025 year, raise your card for yay. 1, 2, 3. Four, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. Okay, 50 yays. Any nays? And any abstains? 1 abstain. Okay.
Who seconded?
Seconded was Marcia.
No, the president.
Was Sandy. All right, next we'll move on to Secretary. Are there any nominations for Secretary?
Mike
Chris.
H.Y. K-H-Y. Doing a great
K-H-Y?
job.
Yeah.
You get rid of him, might be hurt.
That's a true statement.
Was that a second, Roy? Okay, Roy seconds. Mike, do you accept?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Any other nominations for Secretary? All right, you know what to do. 3A? Okay, count again.
Your hands are online.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 38, 39, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 45 yays, any nays? And any abstains? 1. Okay. All right, next is treasurer. Are there any nominations for treasurer for 2025? All right, Doris nominates Bill Allen, 88 WA. Any other seconds? I'll choose Taz since you already nominated others, Chris. All right, Taz, seconds, Bill. Bill, do you accept? Okay. Are there any other nominations for treasurer? All right, for yays? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 6, 7, 3, 3, 9, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 44 yays. Any nays? And any abstains? 3.
The nomination.
Nomination was Doris. Seconded was Taz. All right, next we'll move on to Public Information Officer. Any nominations for Public Information Officer?
Like to nominate, Chuck Retire.
All right, Jeff, right?
Yep.
Jeff nominates Chuck. Are there any seconds?
I'll second.
All right, I'll do Cliff. Cliff seconds. Are there any other nominations for Public Information Officer? All right, I think we've done this before. Yays?
7 on the board.
Okay, I have 39 yays in the room. Any nays? And any abstains? 2. And Bill, how many did you count online? I'm sorry. 8. Okay, so there's 47.
146.
Yeah, 46. Okay, that is it for the 2025 board of Cliff, Mike, Bill, Chuck, and Sean. Welcome again. All right, next we'll move on to the budget for 2025. It's on to Bill to present. If you want I can put the USB stick in and see if we can put it up. I'm gonna have to disconnect. We're gonna lose the camera for a second. I gotta learn how to do work a Mac.
Easy.
Is it?
Mhm.
Come on, there we go.
Okay, so we have, we're expecting about $2,500 in membership, about $3,300 from swap, for a total of $5,800 income. The expenses have been proposed that we have LARC night out reestablished. And so we've budgeted $1,000 to start for that. $1,600 in for the swap, includes the room and other materials. $3,100 for operations. Operations include new member badges, Dawson donation, insurance, LARC in the park, subsidy, a mailbox for the LAR for the state, net challenge, PayPal, speaker honorarium, which is new, storage unit, web hosting, and Zoom. $600 for field day and picnic food for a total of $6,300 would net us a minus 500. In addition, there have been 3 proposals for capital expenditures. A new third generator with gas cans for all 3 of $1,300. That's item A. Item B is flutter flags, shelving, and bins at $500. And item C is a projector and screen for making presentations outside of, if we're not in the Plymouth library. Anybody have any questions about what's been proposed for the budget?
So money's been put in for if we want to continue here? Is that?
No, money has not been, because we do not know how much it will be at this point. We have not approached the father yet. If we wanted to stay here, we would have to then come back to you all and ask for supplemental appropriation.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight is free as a one-timer. Any other questions?
So the way that we'll vote this is in 2 parts, actually 4 parts. One is just for the budget, which is in the top half. And then we'll vote individually for each of the proposed capital expenditures. Just because those are special projects. So we'll go ahead and start with the proposed budget for 2025, which you see the income and expenses. They're at the top. Are there any yays for the proposed budget for 2025?
Can you watch the people?
Yes. People online, leave your hands raised for a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. 10, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 42, 43, 44. Okay, 44 in the room for yays. Let me pop over. Let me stop sharing so I can see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is 52.
We had a few more jump up while you were.
Okay, so 10, so that was 54. 54. Are there any nays? Any abstains? 1, 2. 2 abstains. Okay. Next we will, let me go ahead and reshare so we can,
So you can just say it.
yeah, I guess I'll just say it. Come on, go away, go away.
Capital expenditure A, generator and gas cans for $1,300.
Generator and gas cans for $1,300. Are there any yeas? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 7, 38, 39, 40, 41.
7.
Thank you, Tom. 41 and 7, 48 yays. Are there any nays? 1 nay. Any abstains? 3. 3. Okay. Next is the flutter flags or feather flags and shelving and bins for the storage unit. Any yays? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39.
7.
And 7 is 46. I think my math is correct in my head. Any nays? And any abstains? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and last but not least, the projector and screen. Are there any yays for projector and screen? 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 32. Okay, got 35 and 6. That's 41. Any nays? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. And any abstains? 2. Okay, and that is it for the financial piece and the elections. Thank you. Turning it over to Cliff.
Well, thank you, Zach, and thank you, Keith, for getting this all together for us tonight.
Please turn in your cards at the end of the meeting.
Do not want to have to budget for more cars.
They were, I tell you, a pack of 50 for $1.25 at the Dollar Tree hurts the pocketbook. Yeah.
Well, thank you all for going through that with us. We actually did it pretty quick, so that worked out well, and I appreciate personally your votes for president. Learned a lot last year, just not only about trying to run a club, but learned about procedure and, you know, all the nuances that it takes to, you know, whether it's nominations and seconds and all that kind of stuff. And I'm still learning, but it's great to have such a wonderful board to support you, because that's I don't know what I'd do without these guys. So I definitely appreciate it there, and we'll look forward to another good year, I think. So we're already off to a good start. I mean, swap. I'm still beaming about that, because it's just it was just so neat to see everybody. We took a bunch of pictures, and I'm sure Sandy will have a bunch of them in the newsletter next time around and what have you. So
Since we have time, maybe do any good finds or bad finds at the swamp.
as well.
We have time.
Hey, let's do a little story time, if you will, for those of you that went to the swamp. Anything, any good finds or things that you were surprised about, or anything you want to comment about on the swamp? Good coffee. It was good coffee.
Thank you, Gordon. I'll also give credit to those that served it. Mike.
Hey, the Purell got a bunch of different hits too.
Try again, Bob.
The attendance gone down over here, it's gone up and steady.
Good question. Has the attendance gone down?
Last year, we only had 60 tables.
Well, I
And
mean,
we had,
people coming in.
as far as number of people, we had about 50 more people come in.
Good.
Yeah, so it's.
And even for a venue change, and we went up is pretty good.
Yep.
Gordon?
Was there any, more tables that we could have put in there?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Well, caution
We
there.
think.
The church is not sure they have more tables. But they think they do. In talking to the janitor, he thinks they do. So the question is, how many more could we get before it gets too crowded?
15.
You think 15? Huh? Yeah, I said somewhere between 7 and 10, but anyway, it will cut down on the walking space. A lot of people like the walking space.
Do you know how many people showed up the day of to buy a table?
I had 5 on the waiting list and 2 showed up that were not on the waiting list. I had told everybody on the waiting list that we were full. That was more than a week before the cutoff. So, yeah, we could have, and like I said, we had 2 no-shows and we sold those tables. So, yeah, in theory, we could go more. How much more? Don't know. Doris, how many did we have the last time we were at senior center? Yeah. 80?
Wasn't prepared.
Might have a- Then, of course, I have people telling me like John, that they used to go to the Dearborn Civic Center when they used to do it down there, and they used to have big. I don't have that, that's well before my time.
That was a lot of tables, so we filled that entire place.
Asked whether they want to try our list meetings in the future, and since we've already got permits for May, or June.
Okay, yeah. Well, I did bring this up at the beginning of the meeting, but I don't want to forget before we run out of time or anything. So I did ask you all a question, what do y'all think about this venue for potential future meetings? Let's do a straw poll, Chris. You want to raise your hand if y'all think that you want to
Raise
come
your
back?
cards. I'm not counting. I'm not counting.
In theory thing here, okay. Good.
But I had another.
You see more blue than not blue.
We have a time constraint on this.
They told us, close the door when you leave out, it'll lock.
That right there might be my selling point.
It's nice
What?
to have it back in the city again, like in the actual.
Yeah.
We are a Livonia Amateur Radio Club. I mean, I am a little biased living in Plymouth, but I obviously see the importance of having it in the city that it's named after.
Just as a little side note, one of the reasons we were able to get this place is because Father Kevin, who is the pastor, is also the chaplain for the Livonia Police Department. So he was very open to us because of our affiliation with the Livonia Police Department.
So it's something that we'll look into, like Bill mentioned during the budget presentation. We don't have a fee yet for this for ongoing, but it's something that we'll look into and we'll talk about. But honestly, and it's a good thing. We're outgrowing the Plymouth Library. There's enough interest in the club and interest in attending the meetings, which is great. That we're getting this almost standing room only at maybe a fire code thing at the Plymouth Library. So, and as strict as they are with everything else over there, there'd probably be somebody coming in there counting before it's too much longer. So, okay, well, appreciate the feedback on that. Any other feedback on swap or Chris?
Yeah, Cliff, I spoke to more than a dozen other vendors. They said if we had another swap, they would want to be here because they must have done well.
Oh, good.
I did,
Good.
but I had no complaints. The only complaint I had was I couldn't say hello to everybody that came to my table because I was so busy, people asking questions, but I saw people there that I hadn't seen in 20 years. One guy used to be a member of this club, KTAY, Thomas Hoff. Lawyer, retired now. Came in his coveralls. He had his horses out in West Ann Arbor. I guess the livestock laws here in Livonia have changed, so.
Shocking.
Well, lawyer would know.
Some people still have horses, but he had a bunch. Peter,
Peter Lee has raised. his hand.
everybody all the other vendors that I spoke to said that they would come again because, it was so well organized and stuff, so.
Well, that's great. That's definitely great
That's
to
a
hear.
good thing to do.
Yes, it is.
I heard no negative.
Good deal. Peter, I hear you have, some feedback for us.
You there, Peter?
You're on mute. Like we're at work.
We don't hear you, Peter.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
User error. Okay, so I'm just going to mention that for about an hour and a half, I was working on entry door. I was working at entry door number 4, which means I was directing people a lot through the leading directions. And I was going to point out that like everybody had nothing but positive things to say. Everybody was smiling and very, very happy. Very few people were leaving the swap without something in their hands that they had bought. So it was very, very well received by the attendees. Everybody was just happy and smiling and whatever. The only comment I got, which was not a criticism, but a request for something we could think about next year, is that there were a few people that had mobility issues, and there was a lot of distance to cover from the parking lot to getting into the swap. So when we talk about it next year, anything we can do to make it easier for these people that had mobility issues to get them closer in, or to not have to move so far or have somebody to help them, that would be it. But the people attending just had nothing but happy things to say. And like I said, I saw very few people leaving without carrying something they had bought. So.
Chuck?
I know I was around with Sandy when she was talking to one of the representatives from the building and talked about that issue. And there was one of the entrances, door number 5, that we didn't publicize or didn't know about, that actually does have handicap access to the parking lot and and a wide door into the building. So, and they just said to, let them know that we want to be able to use that, and, there's no restriction on using that as an entryway, but to maybe restrict it to disability folks. The other thing too, like everyone else has mentioned, there were a number of other clubs who had actually purchased table space at our swap, and many of them have their own events, and everyone that I talked to were just very impressed with the venue, and that we had our act together on this, and that there were people showing people where to go and directing people, and they seemed to think we did a pretty good job of that. So that really reflects well.
The church, the venue was impressed with how fast we
That
tore it
too.
all down.
Yeah, we loaded out pretty quickly.
Just so everybody knows, I got a message on Thursday night saying, oh, you can't set up Friday night. And so I had to send out we had to send out the message to everybody that had signed up Friday, set up on Friday night. Say, forget it, show up early on Saturday. I couldn't believe how many members showed up at 6 o'clock Saturday morning. And by the way, it turned out the janitor and the manager of the hall set it up between midnight and 2 a.m. We paid an extra $50 for that. And I go, that's well worth it. So, and basically, Keith took my rough sketches and put it into a sort of a CAD program. When the manager saw that, according to the janitor, he goes, I can't believe, well, first off, on Thursday night when he said he couldn't set it up, he also said, oh, by the way, I just counted how many tables you have here, and I'm not sure we have that many tables. I really needed to know that on Thursday night. Gary. Anyway, the janitor said that they feel they can probably come up with another 10 to 15 tables. There was also a discussion about having a VE session there. I haven't found out about the cost of that, but it'd be in one of the side rooms. Possibility. And I'd like to thank all the volunteers who were there early, who were there all day, and who helped tear it down. The janitor, when he saw what we did for tear down, he couldn't believe how fast we were done. So thank you all.
The biggest feat of all was Cliff was there before 6 a.m.
That's right. And the whole day. Took a very nice nap afterwards. So let me tell you.
You're welcome for driving in there.
You can drive. I don't drive. I have a driver.
Put 'em in the car at night.
Paul.
Paul.
A couple of times or incidents I saw that in the circle drive out from the entrance, some members of the club came out and said, listen, you can't park here. This is loading and unloading. People are kind of, shall we say, abusing the privilege. They go and they unload and figure, oh, well, since I unload, I could just sit there ad nauseum. And they couldn't, because it was too busy. And so I think that means we could use this a little bit of freedom of enforcement or make it clear to people that that's strictly for loading and unloading and not during a brief period of time.
Yeah, well, that's a good point, because I don't know, would you make 3 or 4 announcements, Zach, about the?
The last one was a license plate.
Yeah. So, yeah, but good feedback there, as far as stuff that, we have a bigger venue, more people, they're,
You're gonna find more
and
stuff like
that kind of gets back to, again, thank you for everybody who volunteered. Been talking a lot about volunteering this year. That's where we need, folks to do these events, to continue to help us out, because that's what helps make these a success.
Yeah, stupid question, maybe for next year, with this parking issue, maybe we can get some cones to add to our inventory of stuff.
We have a ton of cones.
We have a ton of cones.
Yeah, we have like 20 cones.
Okay, perfect.
We had signs ordered too that.
I was just gonna say no parking
since the
signs.
last meeting, so that's.
Yeah.
And we knew
The
that.
problem is that they don't care. You gotta have physical people standing out there saying, you got to move your vehicle.
Yeah.
Unload it here,
And then
go
leave.
park your car, I will watch it here, and then come back.
You have to babysit them.
We
Yeah,
learned
we need
learned
big-
that last
big
year.
burly
We
guys to
get it
do that.
done this year.
I'll,
Bouncers.
Yeah.
let's-
We need bouncers for next year. I like that.
Talk to Northville and just see if they can park a car out there. because-
By the way, an officer did come by and
Yeah,
wanted to check us out.
Yeah.
You got through.
But not.
He was looking for ammo and he
Yeah,
Chuck got one.
Oh, Chuck, I'm sorry.
One other item, Scott and Larry from ARRL were present. Larry is the state section manager and Scott's the ARRL board member. And they both showed up and we had a table set up for them and they had a lot of their literature. And I mean, they help us out every year and they also help with, they publish our information in the magazine and help us get the word out. So that's why we have ARRL sanctioned, but they said that they had a lot of traffic this year, people wanting to converse with them because there are a lot of mixed feelings of, people who are really in favor of the league and a lot of people who really hate it. And they were able to talk to both of those people and at least get their point across. And they were really pleased with the dialogue that they were able to have with people at the event. So that was good for them to do.
Yeah, they did have a lot of traffic. I had quite an extensive conversation with Larry and the first time I talked with him. And yeah, good feedback from them as well. So.
Two things that came from Robin and Bill. Could use more printed material at the raffle for winning numbers, prizes, and raffle times. I agree with that. The raffle was, I think, the bottom of priority for those of us that were planning. So that needs to change a little bit. And then I like your last suggestion there, offer a raffle prize opportunity to vendors who stay till the end. That's pretty good. That's a good, I like
I
that.
like that. And next time we can use the AV support on the stage to project some of that information.
Maybe.
That'd be fun. We could have something on the live stream. All right, anything else on swap?
Over projected.
All right. We'll start getting kind of winding down here. We've got through everything, all business kind of stuff. Just normal reminders, our 2-meter net Thursday nights at 8 PM on the good old 145.35 megahertz repeater with a 100 hertz PL zone.
Thank you, Dan.
And that, yep, thank you, Dan, for keeping us upright on that. And start early check-ins around 7:45 on that too. It's not a contest. Remember that. Our next board meeting's on March the 10th, and next V session is that week also, March the 12th. And as I always love to say, keep an eye on our award-winning website for details on any other upcoming club activities and news. Switch things around here a little bit. Chris brought up a good helping hands activity. Are there any other Elmering helping hands corkboard items that anybody buy something that's swapped or aren't ready to get rid of, or they didn't get rid of? Anything for helping hands, corkboard?
No mouse houses this year for me to get rid of.
No mouse houses. No, you got a good one.
I got a good one. I got a non-mouse house this year.
Yeah. Somebody got the anti-mouse house when they spent $6,000 on a kid with 990.
Within 5 or 10 minutes of the swap opening.
This is the ATM machine.
But we couldn't find, yeah.
Several times.
That might be something else that we need to map out an ATM machine, location for folks that come up and say, where's the
We
ATM
did.
machine?
We
I
did.
finally pulled it up on a map that some people wanted. to
Perfect.
know.
I might be able to talk to a ATM vendor, see if they could bring one or two.
There we go. That's one-stop shopping. They've gotten some business that day. All right, but that was something else. I just saw the darn thing, and the next thing I saw was somebody with a dolly with all the boxes that went with it.
Did
I'm
the
like, all
vendor
right.
leave right after?
It was at the Aero Club
Yeah,
table.
it was an SK
I
estate.
figured it had to be. Good night, $6,000. Right, if you got it, congratulations. All right, any other new business? Well, welcome again, by the way. Welcome again, by the way.
Do we have anything official set up for going down to Xenia for the ham convention night? Like as a group going down?
No, we don't have anything official, but there's probably a number of folks going down. And the Aero Club, the Ann Arbor Club, every year does, they rent a tour bus and get folks that go down, get together like 4 o'clock in the morning, go down there, spend the whole day. They do that as a club. Everything we've done when it comes to Dayton has been informal, at least as far as I've been involved. Probably gonna be a good number of us going.
Good.
All right. If there is nothing else on election night, Ron.
Just a question. So what's the plan for the constitutional amendments? Is that gonna just be another meeting or?
We'll just have to postpone it till the next meeting and we have a majority.
Majority of the full membership.
Majority of the full membership present, whether in person or on Zoom.
It will get harder and harder.
Yeah.
We're going into the summer there, so, we'll get it though. It's not gonna go anywhere. Anything else? Thank you all for attending the annual meeting, for the Livonia Amateur Radio Club 2025 elections and all that good stuff. Thank you for your participation. And look forward to seeing you all next month, or if not before.
Here?
No.
No, at the Plymouth Library for next one. We've got Plymouth for a couple more,
Yeah.
at least a couple more meetings while we try to figure all this stuff out. All right, we'll shut this thing down, 8:05. Do y'all be careful.
Chili